We got a Win pipe lighter here. Check and see if what's going on with this. I haven't worked on Win before, but they're basically all the same. But for somebody out there might type in Win pipe lighter, you know, let's just go ahead and type this in the description so people will be able to find it. All right. First thing I'm going to do is check the fill valve out. See if it's leaking. I've sputtered. Almost spitting out a little butane means you've got air in the tank. So when you get that solid line out, you know you got the air out, evacuated, so you're in good shape. And the reason I want to test this here out is if they're not bad guys, I don't fix them. Because they use good seals on these. The only time these things are really going to go bad is they get hard. Okay, that's it. If they get hard, it's going to leak pretty immediately. You're going to keep in mind too, you're always going to get one bubble out of the middle because you got the alcohol here pushing down the air cavity inside the little fill hole there that's going to drive air out. And it's going to bring a bubble to the top, so don't want that mess with you. Alright. I'm going to put, I know I can't test that. Yeah, I can only test the fill valve. I forgot about that because these tanks come out of these cases. Well, I got one bubble out of there. I'm going to wait to see if another bubble forms on the end of that tip. If it does, then I have to repair that fill valve. Even if I don't have to fix it, I might just take it out and put a little bit of silicone grease around it. Looks good. Now let's go and take this apart. when you're taking these apart, you gotta be careful, because there's like little spacers and stuff in this gas valve here. Right. Okay, that's right, I forgot. One thing you gotta do here when you're, you got to, unscrew for the, let's see if I can do this, unscrew it while, no, I'm gonna have to hold the plant tube. There we go. Yeah, I forgot about that. Okay, let's take a peek at what we got here. Got this little metal tab right here. Alright, sits right on top of that like that. Take this out. We're going to go down here and remove the roller wheel. And I'm going to take a peek in here and see what we got. Alright. You got the little lever right here is actually the stopper. What it does is when you shut the lid here, the little spring lid thing, you know, puts tension on the spring. The very first thing I took out, it presses down on this lever here. See, and puts the stopper down. Alright. So, let me get in here and see if I can get Well, it's gonna come out. See what we got here. You see this bar's got to come up over. This is your pipe valve. Now that pipe valve has to come off of there because otherwise you wouldn't be able to get the spring assembly and everything on. So let me see about pulling that off of there. There we go. Pulled off of there. That's your side angle pipe valve now. Now the rest of this stuff should come right up and off. And there's that. Alright. Then we got a little spring and a little washer. Remember, a little spacer, I should say. Remember that spacer is going to go right above the spring. The spring is going to be the last thing out, except for the little plastic cap that fits over the little valve area there, right here. So, in the order of things going on, after you get the valve put back in here, after you rebuild it and screwed it back down, this is the order things are going to go on. It's going to be the cover, the spacer, the shut-off mechanism lever, or gas release lever. Okay. Then you're going to put this on, alright, which is the top part of the, it's got your 45-degree angle hole here for your pipe, you know. This is the outlet for your pipe valve. So just so you know that, that's what we got right there. But I can tell you right now that this thing's definitely needing a good cleaning. The flint wheels are all, it's just, whew, boy, it's burgered up. It's got a bunch of stuff in it. Alright. Let me get in here with my light and see. I think that's really got a lot of gunk on it. I can't even, it looks like it's got a knurled, looks like it's got a knurled cap on it in there, but, you know, let me clean it out a little bit here. Maybe I can see exactly what I'm dealing with. Make sure we got the right tool. Yeah. I don't have the correct tool, I don't think. Let's see here. No. Excuse me. Maybe I can just use a part of a screwdriver to if this tool will work or not. Definitely not. Some of these lighters, guys, like I say, you've got to manufacture your own parts as far as repair tools go. It's just the way it is. Give me a minute here. I'm trying to break loose this. Got it loose. Yeah. What I'm going to be pulling out of here is the stopper spring mechanism. If I remember right. There we go. Well, let's get the spring out of there. There's the spring. Tell you guys, don't be losing. I'll say it in every video, and I'll keep saying it in every video. Don't lose these springs. These springs are, get you one of these little magnets to put on, because it's not going to blow away or get popped off when it's sitting on one of them. Oh boy, yeah. Definitely gonna have to replace that stopper. I don't know if you can see if that thing is, that's shot. That's what I hate about them. Look at that, them little stoppers like that. See how that is? That's so freaking small. Yeah, and it's hard to put one back in there that size without the thing coming out. So I'll see if I can do it, but I don't know if I can measure the diameter of that stopper or not. Looks, it says 1.15. I don't know if I can measure inside this hole or not. Let's see here. Oh, I could probably get an idea here. Let's say 0.30 OD of this, so it's about, yeah, about a 1 millimeter, I'm guessing. When I'll be honest with you guys, when I'm fixing something like this, it can be difficult. Sometimes it's easier just to bore it out. And the reason I say just bore that hole out a little bit, keep in mind here that that's only so deep, and when you open up, this valve opens up, gas is just going to go in this hole here. So gas is going to come around this post stopper, and when it raises up, it's going to go around here, and it's going to go right into this here hole, right out through here, okay? So it doesn't even matter, this hole could, I don't know why, this hole could be drilled all the way down to this hole. It doesn't really matter, as long as you got a stopper in there. But for some reason, yeah, they choose to do it the way they do. This is a 1.2. Actually, that's like a perfect tight fit in there. But I don't want to burger the ends of this. I want like about I want a 1 millimeter one. I've done this on Dunhill, guys, so it doesn't, you know, as long as you got a steady hand, you can do it on about any lighter. It's got some of this type, okay? I'm going to use this here to start it. Right there. Bring out my old trusty Milwaukee M18 here. That's pretty good. Excuse me. We got 3 layers I need to work on today and get them done. Actually 4. One's important, but all right. I'm going to pull that off right now, and I'm just going to bit's not that sharp. It's drilling. But it's not that sharp. Gonna get me another drill bit out, guys. Let's see here. Another one of them. What do I do with that? See if I got, this might work. Yes, you gotta have some small drill bits when you're doing this type of stuff. I don't know if you can see them or not, but you got to have some small drill bits when you're doing this type of work. Because to be honest with you, once I do this, and somebody else say gets this lighter and they want to repair it themselves because they got a leaky stopper, all they'll have to do is just pull the old one out, find the right size cord, and push one back in, and they're good to go. Otherwise, you're going to have to fight. You're going to have to fight this. And, you know, I tried doing what everybody tried doing, the old Dunhill roller gases, you know, cut one off, then glue it in there, and I waited 2 days, and the stopper still came out, and I said, you know what, I ain't fighting that, I drill it. Of course, you tell them you're drilling it on the Dunhill website or something like, or the Dunhill Facebook page I was on, oh, you don't ever want to drill on a freaking, you know, I thought to myself, you guys are just a bunch of sissies, you know. Do what you got to do. If you can do it, and it's going to make your life easier, do it. Don't pay attention to what a bunch of other people tell you. You know, I mean, you know, there's some people out there that are just, well, you know, we got to have it completely stock right down to fighting. I don't know about you, but if it was my lighter, and even if I was doing this lighter for somebody else, which, you know, I am, I'm going to sell these lighters. I mean, I don't know why not. If he goes to making, especially the guy, if he comes back and has to repair that later on, why in the world wouldn't you want to do it? And do it right the first time? I mean, I just don't understand. But, you know, some people are funny. They're really, really funny. I don't mean in a comical way either. I mean, they're just plain freaking funny. Let's see how thick is this one. Yeah, I think that's the one I want to actually use right there. I'll zoom in on this part. Try to get it where you guys. See exactly what I'm doing, alright? That's actually not, to me, that's not big enough. Well, let's see, 1 point. I think it is. I think we'll get by. Oh, we won't. That's 2. Let's try. Not that one. Let's try this one. Yeah. Maybe this one's going to be better. I think it's going to be this one. Just a moment. I got to tighten that up. Bring it out where it's got something to grab onto. I don't like the way that. Don't like the way that bit's rolling in there. Maybe I can send that back. Let's just try that. I really don't like that. That's a little better. Alright. That's a little better. I think that might be deep enough. Got her about maybe a little bit more. Let's try that. Now, let's go with that. Okay. Now what I gotta do is, now is I gotta poke out I gotta punch a rubber stopper. Alright. See here. That's 0.5. What do we got here? This says 1.5. We're going to go with that. Because usually when you punch with these, you get kind of a mushroom shape. It's not completely symmetrical, so having one that's a little bit bigger is a good thing. This is flat rubber I use to do this with. Now you have to use a 2mm. Yeah, you may have to use a 2mm, I bet. Yep, I'm going to have to use a 2mm. There's a 2 right here. Yeah. I'm thinking that'll probably do it. Gonna be a little big on one end, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have to trim that down. I gotta get close up here. My head might get in the way. I'm gonna open this little piece right here. It's what the doctor ordered there. Looks big, but maybe I can squeeze it in there. I don't know. 1.5 look. Well, that is big. Let me check out this. That was big. That was small. Alright, let's try something different here. That was big. That was small. Let me find some cord. That cord's too small. So I want some 1.5. I want some 1.5 cord. First off, let's just see if that's thick enough. I don't think it is. No, it's not thick enough. Okay. Let me get my booty braid O-rings out here. That's a 1.5. This is an FKN too, it's a little harder. I don't want to use an FKM. I want to use I want to use the regular nitrile rubber. The FKM's a little hard. Could possibly not seal around the O-ring good enough. Possibly not seal around the orifice good enough. Okay. Try cutting up one of them. One or two things are going to happen. It's either going to work or it's not. Gotta cut a piece of that out of there. I think that's just going to be what the doctor ordered right there. Pretty close. That's going to be a lot closer than what I was dealing with previously. Yeah, just a second. Too small. Got me to cut it enough where it's cut it enough where I can trim it off. If you guys think this is tedious work, what I'm doing here, you always try doing one of these Dunhill roll gas stoppers. I got a little question mark for some reason in the back of my head about this one. Might be a little bit too big, but we're going to see. Possibly. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, just a little bit too big on that. Let me think here. Let me try. That's a little bit big as well. That's not big enough. Stuff pops out. I need to leave. Okay. I'm going to have to go back to looking at my punches again and punch one. Let's go back to looking at, let's go back to this situation, except I'm going to use a thinner this might work better, trying to punch out that 2mm piece. Let's see what we got here. What did it do? Fall out already? No, here it is. Yeah, that's way too wide on that one. So let's go back to the let's go back to the smaller one. This was 2.5, 3, let's go back to the 1.5. We'll cut several of them. Alright. These ones over here that my cut didn't work. Get them out of the way. Alright, there's that. See what we got here. I think we might be close right here. I think this might be what we ordered here. Hold on a second here. Do that. You see that now? You know, there's just a slight bit of brass hanging over that. Okay, hanging over that stopper. So what I'm going to do is, I don't like that. Okay, I'd rather have the stopper just hanging over a little bit. So what I'm going to do is pull this stopper back out. All right. And with just a slight amount of really fine sandpaper, I'm just going to take the burrs off the end of that and bring it down just a little bit. Alright. Okay, put a little butane in that. Clean that hole out. Now, what I'm going to do is put this stopper in there now. See how it looks. Alright. Get in there. Down here, so I'm kind of you know what I got there? Oh, still a couple little freckles right around there. That's what we want, guys, right there. So this is a Boone & Grade stopper. I cut out of a Boone & Grade sheet. I think it's 70 Duro, something like that. So this is done. This is good to go as far as getting that done. Now, this O-ring's pliable. Like I said, these O-rings around here aren't what you call the main gas stoppers right here. All right. So I'm going to put that in here with a little B spring. Alright, well, I'll put it right on there like that. And this just seal here. Check the pliability of it. We're good. The thing you want to do this when you put this back on, guys, is you want to put a little, just lightly grease it. All right, that's it. Just lightly grease it. Alright, now we got that end done. What I want to do now is take this end out. Should be able to get this whole tank out of there. There we go. Actually, I got some butane soaked around that from earlier when I was checking for leaks. I got one of these sitting over here in a tray. You see, right here? This is another one. But the problem I had with this one is that it actually had a leak down here in the corner from the tank. So, I didn't solder it yet. Been sitting there for months. You know, that's what happens when you forget to drain the butane out of your tank, alright? Alright, now I want to take this off. Okay, it goes like that, just so you'll know. And there ain't a hole through here, so what we should have in here is a sponge. Somewhere. You can see it popping out right here. Seal and the sponge. Now, hold on a minute. Yeah, we got a seal. Okay, and a sponge in the middle. FYI, the seal here goes around here like that, just so you'll know. Alright, now I'm going to replace that seal. This sponge, well, it's going to get replaced too. Now you can see, I want to show you this, guys. I think you can see it. Did you see in the middle of this here? Get my pointer here. Where it's got this little dimple. Right here. Okay. That's what happens a lot of times. Now this is a screen that fit over that. But see, what happens a lot of times is, guys, is when you screw them down, you know, say for instance you got a real small flame on your lighter and you screw it down and you just kind of leave it like that and you leave butane in there. Well, a lot of times, you know, you know, they've been compressed for so long. Say for instance, they've been compressed for so long that they don't have, the sponges don't have the pressure to release, and it conforms, you know, the hole conforms and it plugs up this main hole right here. So that's why I always use a sponge with a hole poked in the middle of it. But the two, guys, if you're storing your lighter, you know, empty the flint, the butane, and what I would do is I would unscrew this. And what that would do is going to make a tall flame. Unscrew it as far back as you can. The reason I say that is that gives you movement to come in there when you tighten this down, because when you tighten this down, it moves like this, and that compresses that little sponge in the middle. Well, if you leave that there, that sponge can just stay compressed, and it might not ever really work properly again. That's what it just happens. Okay, I've seen this happen on new lighters, so keep that in mind. You're storing it. Take your gas out of your tank, take your flint out, unscrew this so it opens up as far as possible, and leave it like that. Store it and put it in a place, and put a desiccant pack in there with your lighter too to help keep the moisture out. I've seen these brass parts on the inside got corrosion on them. So anyway, that's just some advice there for keeping your lighter in good shape. Now, this seal here. Wow, that seal's old, and it's still really pliable. But I always replace these. I mean, even though it's good, if you get it off there, if you can save it, you can get it off of there without tearing it up. Well, more power to you, because it might come in, even though it's flattened out here, maybe for this project here, it might work for something else. And obviously it's still good. So, save it. Let me see what the size of that is. 3.4. That's 3.4 there. What we got here? 3.2. 3.22. Okay, I got some that's 3.22, and with a cord size of about 1 millimeter. Okay, 3.22 by 1 millimeter. Let's look in here first. 2.6, 3.22. We got 2, 3. One, 2, 3.8. 3.8. Okay, right here. I'm believing that's going to work right here. Alright. Here's what you want to use. If this works, this is what you want. Get this from O-rings and more. It says 3.22 on that, but I got it down to, the cord. You're going to have to double this. That makes 2, because this is the size of the cord. Alright? So you want to double that, because, on the right side and left side, this is going to be internal diameter. So together you got 3.5 millimeter. Yeah, it'll work. It will work. No, wrong one. we'll check it out. Stick it back in here. Yeah. Perfect. Screws in there, got the proper tension. Okay, that part's done. Now this part here, that's kind of a, I don't know if you can see it or not, guys, but that's a concave. I mean, it's tapered. All right. And I'll be honest with you, I'm going to zoom in. Hopefully you can see this. But this thing is tapered. But you see the surfaces on it, it's really, really good. You see how it's tapered? That's the fit in this hole right here. Okay? So, there's a shelf down in here. See that little shelf in there? That taper's going to seal up against it. Now this is perfect. That seal, so I could replace that seal. I could, but I'm not going to. The only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get a little bit of cotton here and a little bit of alcohol, and I'm going to get down in here and I'm going to clean the inside of this out. That way, if there's any dirt in there or anything, I'll clean it up. This is you got to do this, guys. You got to clean it up. It looks pretty clean. We're good. There's that little, that's what that stopper I just put in is going to seal against. So we're good there. So what we want to do is put this seal back on, and I'm going to just put a little bit of listen, guys, I'm just going to put a little bit. I don't even know if you can see that or not, but that's just a little bit of O-ring grease around there. That's it. There ain't, you can't even tell it's hardly wet. Just a little bit, all right? So what we're going to do here is put this back in here and screw it down. All right. They don't have to be real tight, guys. I'd say right there it's tight enough as it is, fingernail tight. Okay. Now, what we got to do is we got to get a sponge. So, I need to measure. I need to measure this sponge. Let me back out here a little bit. Looks like 2.5. We're good on that. Two and a half. might have a sponge already. No, I don't. 2.5. Well, I gotta go grab some lighters. Just a second. Okay. I want to save that O-ring. The one I took out of there. And I said that was 2.5. So I gotta find my 2.5 millimeter. Right there, 2.5. Oops. Try to do this. Center as best as I can. It's a little off, like this one is. It's not going to hurt. Still going to get gas through it. You get to doing this, you get too many tools around here. Okay, there's the sponge. All right. Now, put the sponge in there, but I have to make sure that it's flat. That one's flat. I don't know if you can see it, but it's laying down there flat. Okay. So with that, with the new O-ring on here, all right, and what we got here was just a little dab of silicone grease around this. We're good there. All right. And what we want to do is stick that in there. Screw that on. Okay. Okay. There we go. What's the next thing? Next thing is to test it out. Once you take these valves and stuff out of here, guys, you just face it, you're going to have air in the tank. That's all there is to it. Purge your tank of all the air. You might have to do it a couple times. Might have to do it a lot of times, all depending how, you know. Well, this is exceptionally what did I do wrong here? Oh, I think I know what I did wrong. I don't have enough adjustment. Or maybe my sponge wasn't. I don't have no adjustment. Maybe my sponge isn't thick enough. Okay. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this other sponge, the old one, back down in there. See what happens. Okay, it's lying flat now. Let's see what happens. Oh, something come to my head. I'm going to pause this video, guys, because I think, let me think here. Let me look at my other one here. Let me look at these real quick. same type. All right. Well, something's not right. I can go in my mind and figure out what it is. What did I miss? I don't think I missed anything. Yes, I did. Right there it is. That's what I missed right there. That's what I missed. Okay. Now, there's a good chance I don't need that other sponge in there. So, let's stick that in there anyway. Yeah, I don't need that in there. Remember when I pulled that screw out of there and I blew all that butane out of there? Well, I never seen it, but I blew this out too. That's the spacer. So it goes behind this. You see what I'm saying? That's why I wasn't getting any, this here wasn't as long. That's why I wasn't getting enough length to compress that sponge that's in there. So I didn't need another sponge in there. So now what I got is more sponge in there. Oh, there it is. It came out. Than needed. Alright. So, let's go back to this. Let's stick this in there. And screw this on. Put some more butane in there. Alright. See if we get anything yet. There we go. We got some air in the tank. You get a fluctuating flame, bleed your tank. Might have to do it a couple times. Your flame fluctuates after rebuilding it, bleed your tank. You know what causes that? You know, I can tell you what's causing that right now. Let me make sure my stopper's working though. Yeah. Stopper's working. Okay, what we got going on here is that that little brass valve I just stuck in there, right here. Let me check it out. I always think that these things should be beveled on the end. And the reason I say that is, not beveled, but kind of tapered a little bit. That way, less apt to get stuck in there. Because these things need to move by pressure, and they just need to move by pressure and everything. Need to find a way to hold that. Well, I'll hold it with this. There. That sponge I put in there could be, it's not as robust, I guess, as the one that was in there. So I think what I am going to do is stick this other sponge. I'm going to cut it a little bit, and I want to stick it in there to see how, if that gives it just a little bit more. There we go, take the backing, felt backing off of that. I wonder where them little bitty gnats are coming from. I'll tell you what, though, it's been unusually dry summer. Video on this, gonna be a long one. Let's try it again and see what happens. Yeah, there we go. It gives a long. One thing I don't like about it is I'm going to take that spacer out. We're going to end up with a abnormally long adjustment screw. So let me get that one sponge back out of there. Maybe just filing off that probably just filing down that, or taking the taper off of that. Yeah, taking the taper off of that brass bushing right here. Probably what made that thing, take the burrs off the edge of it, so to speak. Probably what made that flame adjustment work better. Even though you got the same basic lighters, they can, yeah. Okay. Still getting that. Maybe I need that sponge in there after all. Probably did. Maybe that's just one of the things I'm going to have to put up with a little bit longer. A little bit of a longer screw adjustment. Yeah. That's what I need. We're good. That's good there. Now, I'm just going to clean this here, roll her up. You can take, I know that unscrews off with it, but I'm not going to, for the sake of time on the video, I'm just going to kind of go over it like this. This little small, got stiffer brushes on it. Now let me check it out, see how it is. Oh yeah, it's good. All right, we're good there. Now, let's put the body back in here. Okay, now remember what I said about this here. This here thing's deformed. I'm not going to put it back on because it won't stay on. It's deformed, okay? So, it's to keep dirt and stuff off of there. Well, you know what? I'll just go ahead and put it on there. Anyway, I mean, they put it on for a reason. Even though it's all deformed and stuff, I'm just going to stick it back on and leave it on there. Okay, now you remember the next thing we had to go on there was a screw or a spring. Yeah, I'm using tweezers there. Gotta have non-magnetic tweezers. Okay, and this little spacer, that's what went on next. Now there's a flat side and a bevel side. Put the bevel side up. All right. Then you had this activation or lever or whatever you want to call it. Then you remember right, you had this next, which is the pipe valve head. That just stuffs on. What you want to do there is make sure you hold it and stick it on the valve. And let's try these here first. Try to stick it on with this and push it down later. You can see how that valve is above this here, so you have to push that down. There we go. Now let's there we go. All right. Yep. We're good. We got that. Push down on that stopper and it stops. Okay. We're good. At this point, we want to put thread side up, which I believe is right there, in here. Okay, let me double check, make sure I ain't messing with anything. Yeah. Put that up, and we gotta twist that to get that to go down there. Alright. You got a flint handy. You can stick one in there, and as long as your little flint assembly or flint tube spring. Yeah, get it in there. Oh, that's all I gotta. It's not gonna line up right because I don't have the platform screwed down. Okay, let me and also too. Keep everything good. Remember, right, that went in like this. The little platform there's to hold down the spring and the spacer and everything in there. Okay, now we want to get this in. All right. I want to put that in like that. Get in there. There we go. There we go. Now let's try the flat assembly. Must be the wrong way. Well, I see what's going on. We got a clogged front tube. Alright. We got a clogged front tube. But anyway, despite that, guys, for the sake of the video and time, I'm going to stop this video because it's going to take me forever to freaking download it. Anyway, I think you guys got the gist of it. I'm going to have to unclog that so I can get that in there. Then I just got to, all I have to do on this is just put the flame adjustment screw limiter in there, right? Back on, and everything together, and work good. Okay, guys, so that's the end of that. Hopefully everything is okay, and as far as you're understanding what I've done, if any questions, just post a message. I'll try to answer it.